Hello, welcome to this week's Forex Outlook here at xm.com. My name is Rafi Boyadjian, currency analyst, and here with me is our chief economist, Michalis Florindiadis. So, Michalis, it's been a very strong week for the US dollar, despite the fact that we've had some negative developments on the trade front. We saw other major currencies, particularly commodity-linked and emerging market currencies, coming under some heavy selling pressure. So, what's the latest on the trade front, and how is that impacting the currency market?
Yes, we are expecting some additional tariffs from the United States. These were announced by the Trump administration on more Chinese goods because China took retaliatory steps against the initial tariffs that the US imposed. And the dollar is seen as a bit of a safe haven from the trade war. So this may sound a little bit strange because the US is in the middle of all these controversies, but the US is not so sensitive to trade. The US economy is not so sensitive to trade compared to other economies, so it's seen as a bit less exposed. Of course, the uncertainty might hurt the dollar down the road, but it did particularly well against its major counterparts, the yen and the euro. We saw the dollar yen climbing to its highest since around the beginning of the year. The euro still didn't quite make a new multi-month high, but very near its euro dollar, more or less didn't make a new low, but it's very near its multi-month lows. It's 8 or 9 month low. So this definitely was the theme of the week, I think.
Sterling has been in the headlines this week. We had some data out of the UK. We had the first time that we saw monthly GDP numbers. Those came in line with the expectations, pointing to a rebound in the second quarter. Nevertheless, sterling has been under pressure all week. We had the Brexit white paper being published by the UK government. So what does the white paper tell us about what to expect from Brexit?
Well, it's looking for more towards a soft Brexit, perhaps, the UK government. However, we have to say that this is a little bit tentative because two quite powerful ministers have resigned, the latest one being Boris Johnson, who was a foreign minister, so foreign secretary. So this is leading to some uncertainty whether May is going to be able to hold the Conservative Party and hence her government together. So this has pressured sterling. So other currencies that saw quite a bit of action were the loonie, because the Bank of Canada raised rates, but it gave mixed signals with respect to whether it's going to follow up this rate hike. The Turkish lira came under intense pressure because the Turkish leader Tayyip Erdogan said that he wanted interest rates to fall, and obviously lowering interest rates at a time of high inflation and when your currency is under pressure is not good timing. And the Chinese yuan hit a near 1 year low on worries about what's going to happen in the China-US trade war. So I think this more or less sums up the week that was. What about next week, Rafi? What are we going to concentrate on, and what should we look for?
Well, sticking with China, we do have China's GDP numbers for the second quarter coming up on Monday. They're expected to show a slight easing in growth in the second quarter. It's too early for the data to show whether or not there's going to be any hit from the trade tariffs, but nevertheless that will attract some attention. There's going to be plenty of inflation numbers coming up late next week we're going to have inflation out of New Zealand, Canada, the UK, and the Eurozone as well. We're going to also see retail sales numbers too out of the UK, the US, and Canada. And we're also going to have Japanese inflation numbers as well, in addition to Japanese trade numbers, which again, Japan should also, we should start be seeing a rebound in Japanese growth as well in the second quarter.
So a relatively busy week, and of course we are going to get Powell testimony as well, the Fed chair's testimony. So I think a lot of people will be watching for that, because the fact that the Fed is continuing with its rate hikes is a factor that is very supportive of dollar strength. And of course, I think in the market, it will be very interesting to see whether the dollar is going to extend its gains and whether it's going to make more fresh multi-month highs, whether it's going to push gold down, for example, whether it's going to push euro down, whether the commodity currencies take another leg down. So I think those will be the main factors to watch. Plus, of course, we can't forget trade and the trade row between the major economies. Thank you very much, Rafi, for your input. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and have a great day.